Hi, I'm Sylvia Hartman. Not only am I the heretical writer, I'm also, or was, the naked writer at one point, and now I am the demon writer, or daemon writer as the word should go. So, writing with your daemon. What is a daemon? The old Greeks used that word, which unfortunately sounds so much like demon, but it's got nothing to do with demons. And it's spelled D-A-E-M-O-N, daemon. The old Greeks said that the daemon sits between the gods, there's the daemon, and there's the human beings, and they act as a conduit for the human beings to learn more about the gods and the wider world and life after death and all of that. And so if the Greeks contacted a daemon, the daemon would tell them stuff, and then the human being who received this information would put it out into the world in the form of art or philosophy or religion or whatever they had contacted the daemon for. And I think that really does explain it really nicely. So there's this greater realm above. I'm not saying anything about any gods that may or may not reside there. There are obviously other creatures and beings that we have little conception of. And then we have got our human beings down here walking around on planet Earth, creating AIs and doing all manner of fabulous things. And there's this extra entity that sits between these other realms and the human being in their normal ways of thinking and doing. And that is the daemon for the Greeks. And, well, for me, it's the dear energy mind. So I come from this worldview, this paradigm-shiftingly worldview, that our energy bodies are real. I mean, they're real bodies. They're not some hallucinatory, flighty, wibbly thing. They're real bodies. They're just all made up of energy, non-material substances. And this real energy body eats and drinks energy and lets go of the things that it doesn't need. There's energy flowing in, through and out all the time. It's got healing hands that can touch other living energy bodies. And it has a head, a brain, a neurology. And this head of the energy body, the real energy body, I call the energy mind. And that's it. And we call it a dear energy mind. You know, dear energy mind. Wow, my dear hands, my dear feet, my dear face, my dear spine, my dear energy mind. It's a natural part of being a human being. Everybody has one, whether they like it or not. You know, everybody dreams, everybody has ideas and thoughts and things flying in from all directions. And that's our dear energy mind at work, previously also known as the sub or unconscious mind. And that's going completely in the wrong direction, because you remember the people are here and the energy minds here stands between the people and the greater realities where all these energy things are going on. So we don't want to go beneath the human. That's going completely in the wrong direction. We're going up to the energy mind. So at the very least, it should be a, above conscious mind, not a subconscious mind. It's just sending people in the wrong direction all the time. All the structures seem to be designed to just send people into these labyrinths where they're going all the time in the wrong direction, and so you don't get any good results. But I digress, or do I? I'm not sure. We're here to talk about writing with your daemon, and translating this into my language is to say writing with your dear energy mind. And in my previous video, The Heretical Writer, I said that a real creative writer has this experience where these doors open up and you step into this world, this other world, and you're describing the experiences that you are having there, or that your characters are having there. They're not characters, they're personae when you are in this other world. They are rich, they have their history, everything. So that's the realm of the dear energy mind. When we open the doors and step through, we are no longer in what I call the hard physical reality. We are in the energy realms themselves. And there we can have experiences that you cannot have in any other way. You can't have them in the hard. That's the whole point. And I believe that human beings are actually designed to have 50% of their experiences in the hard. The usual stuff, getting married, having children, paying mortgages, all that stuff. And the other 50% of their life's experiences are supposed to be, opening up those gates and stepping out into these energy worlds and having experiences there. And I believe absolutely that this prepares us for the afterlife, that it's supposed to prepare us for the afterlife. Because we're only in the hard for a short period of time. The rest of the time we're going to be somewhere else without a physical body. Fascinating. Okay, so we have this entity, the dear energy mind, which is, I had to do that. I don't invent words because, I have got nothing better to do. But when words are so tainted and so wrong in their presuppositions, in their usage, in the ideas that people have made about them, as the sub or unconscious mind where all this hideousness resides and all this absolute nonsense, then we have to take a step and say, okay, I'm going to use a different word now, a clean word, a more logical word, a word that people can understand. The energy mind is the brain of your living energy body. And it knows all about energy, and it knows all about these glorious realms that we can enter at will with our consciousness when we say, take me to the perfect place in time and space. So the energy mind entity itself is super important. We create relationships with entities, and the dear energy mind, which is ours, belongs to us, serves us, not just to our dying day, but beyond, is a super helpful entity that we want to learn to understand more about, how it works, how we get to talk to it, how we get it to respond, and how we make it so that at the end of the day, we're not talking about a conscious mind and an energy mind anymore, but a combined unit that is more than the sum of its parts, and that's the supermind. And I believe that this combining happens in a writer when they are experiencing these things in these other realms, sanctuary realms I call them, and at the same time they're still consciously awake and aware enough to sit there with their pen, their pencil, in front of a keyboard or in front of a tape recorder, and be able to translate these experiences, these otherworldly experiences, into spoken language. That's an application of supermind. Both parties are present. The conscious mind is present, the physical body is present, who's holding the pen or typing on the keys, and the energy mind is also present and showing us, giving us entrance into this story that we are describing. And I would like it to be known, this is not just fantasy fiction or sci-fi we're talking about, or fairy tales. This is exact same process if you want to write a current novel of some kind. And the story is unfolded for you in that same way, where you are stepping into this place in time and space, and you are observing the persona interacting in that place. And that could be on Brighton seafront in 2023, for all I care. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to involve dragons at all. It's the same principle. Writing with your daemon simply means writing with your energy mind. And once we have established that and taken all the woo-woo and all the crazy out of it, and something else I'd like to say, a lot of people found that they find this easier when they're drunk or on drugs or something, that, you know, break on through to the other side, that you have to somehow hammer at this barrier that stands between you and the communications from your energy mind, or self-mutilate in some way. The old shamans, they used to be hung up from a tree by their nipples for 3 days and stuff like that. All of that is completely unnecessary, because every human being comes with this dear energy mind. And if you address it correctly, if you treat it well, it will respond to you, just like any other part of your body. If you keep hating it, beating up on it, or, you know, wanting to destroy it, or wanting nothing to do with it, try that with your legs for a week or two and see what results in walking you get. Insanity. You know, basic thing. Every single part of you is there to serve you all your life long. And some parts of you are there to serve you in the afterlife. So, what I would like anybody who wants to write with their daemon, with their dear energy mind, start doing is to start addressing it nicely and to thinking of it in terms of a system of thought that everybody has, and it's there to help you. The first major tip on the topic, as you can tell, I could talk about this for weeks. The first major tip on the topic is this: the more stressed you are, the more your connection with the dear energy mind breaks down. And when the energy mind gets stressed, it will also send you garbled information. A modern energy chart goes from essentially -8 to +10. And the higher up you are on the energy chart, the cleaner these information streams become, the more lucid they become, and the more beautiful they become. Absolutely. And the lower down you get on the modern energy chart, what happens is that this information stream, this pure flow of information, becomes disrupted, disturbed, garbled, and more nightmarish as we go along. More and more frightening, more and more terrifying, just as, you know, the energy goes down. This is completely normal and natural. So, in order to start writing with your dear energy mind, my first tip is make sure that you are on the positive side on the modern energy chart. You're excited, you're happy, you're feeling good, you're ready for an adventure. And that's step 1, dear energy mind. We have a set of exercises from Project Sanctuary, now called Supermind. And the first one of those is the classic game, and I will briefly mention that here and explain how that works. So what really helps as a beginner is to start in the heart position, point to yourself, where you'd say, this is me. Place your hands over the top, take a deep breath in and out. And in the classic game we ask, dear energy mind, take me to the perfect place in time and space for me right now. And for some people, that's enough to just, whoa, you're there. Boom, Hawaiian Island, blue skies, the lot. Children playing on the beach. Vroom. But that's okay if you don't get that instant response to that setup. Take me to the perfect place in time and space for me right now. Because we have the classic game questions. What is the time of year in your perfect place? What is the time of day? What is the weather? What is the landscape here? And what else is there? And how does that make you feel inside at the emotion, the energy sensations? And there you are. You have arrived in what I call a habitat, a sanctuary habitat, created by your dear energy mind for you to hang out, to explore, look around, meet beings, personae, get ideas, find healing, relaxation, rest, excitement, whatever. But the beauty of it is that this habitat was created for you, custom made for you by your own dear energy mind as the perfect place in time and space for you right now. So you can hang out in your perfect place for a little while, and what I really recommend is to, when you're done, that was awesome, found a magical conch on the beach, blew into it, sound echoed through the universe, that kind of thing. Just go back in the heart position and say thank you, dear energy mind. That was awesome. I absolutely loved it. Brilliant. Can't wait to do something like this again. So that would be my absolute ground zero 101 of starting a active, proactive, direct relationship with your own dear energy mind that you can work on, that you can explore, that you can do all manner of things with. And that isn't reliant on wild strikes of inspiration. It's not reliant on other people being your muses. It's not reliant on having to take drinks, drugs and alcohol first, or self-mutilate yourself in any way, or to take a trip to India first and find yourself in an ashram. Anybody can do that right here, right now, and start a wonderful, not just lifelong, but positively beyond lifelong relationship with a system of thought that is so extraordinary, so just mind-boggling. System of infinite creativity. That's writing with your daemon. Writing with your dear energy mind. And there are lots and lots of things you can do with that. And I'll talk about that in other videos. In the meantime, practice the perfect place in time and space with yourself, and also, and this is super interesting, try this with other people who have literally no idea what I'm talking about here. Just say, okay, or just as I said, I could talk about this for weeks and weeks and weeks. Practice the classic game questions and just find out for yourself how easy it is to enter into these realms, which were held to be just for the most talented creative people. Every human being could do this. I know this. I've been doing this for 40 years now. It's amazing. We are so much more than we think we are. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. Give it a go. And then you too can have your very own daemon that you can do all sorts of things with. That would astonish people who don't have one. Thanks for listening. Please subscribe, share if you found this interesting, and I will see you in the next video. Lots of love, and bye for now.